Okay, welcome back, dear students. After 3 grammar lessons, now we shall begin a literature lesson. Now, you may be wondering, how can we start a literature lesson? We don't have books. Don't worry. I will make all that easy for you. I'll give you instructions and you will be able to follow them very easily. Now, before we begin the lesson, listen carefully to my question. See, I know everybody is locked up in their houses in this lockdown period. Yes, due to this coronavirus, all of us are at home, locked up for so many days altogether now. So life has become very boring. Life has come to a standstill. Yet, my dear students, can you still think of something, some blessing that you still have, which maybe other people may not have? Can you think? Think carefully and try to realize what is that one blessing that you have which many people do not have. Some may have guessed it correctly, I know, and that is home. Yes, there are so many people who are out on the streets fighting the corona war. Who are those people? The policemen, the doctors, and so many other people who are performing the essential services. So they are not so lucky. They are not in the safety of their homes. So they have to step out every day amidst this danger of coronavirus. They might get infected, but at the same time, they cannot afford to stay at home. They have to go out to work. But you have this privilege, isn't it? You and I, we are sitting at home very comfortably. And there's one more thing that is with us, that is the family. We have the support of our family members. You are amidst your parents, your loved ones. And so that should not give us so much reasons to complain. At least there are some blessings. So let us count our blessings. And today's lesson is just going to be based on that. Okay? A quick recap of the second stanza. Is it home or love? Which is more important? What is home without love? Can love suffice without a home? Now we have got the answers. Home without love is nothing but an empty space. And love without home is like an emotion without stability. Home and love are inseparable, like hand and glove. Remember the expression, hand and glove? One without the other is incomplete. Hence, mark the alliteration, win and won. That was the quick recap. Now we move on to the third stanza, the final stanza of the poem. Now we begin the third stanza. I have got a picture of both home and love for you. Yes, that's a picture, the sun shining in the sky. It's a wonderful picture of a family happy together, and in the background you can see their home sweet home. Yes, so, and if you've both, now let us say that a person has both home and love. Well, then I'm sure, the poet says, you ought to sing the whole day long. It doesn't matter if you're poor, with these to make divine your song. So, he says that if somebody is lucky enough to have both, well, you ought to sing all day long. That means there are some children who are singing here for you. So if that is the state, then this should be their mental state. They should be singing. And when do you sing? Do you sing when you're sad? We generally sing out of happiness. Singing is an expression of joy. A person happily singing all day long, chirping and singing is an indication of a happy person. Are you doing that? Or are you grumbling to Mummy, I'm not able to do this. Mummy, kab lockdown khatam hoga? I'm sure you're not saying all those things. And you are singing because you have both home and love. Yes, and try to make home a more happy place, a happier place. So if you've both, then well, I'm sure you ought to sing the whole day long. It doesn't matter if you're poor. So even if you don't have a very comfortable home, even a poor man may have a home of his own. And we may not be living in homes like Tata Birla, or maybe like Shah Rukh Khan's Mannat, or maybe the big house that the Ambanis have. I don't even know their names. But anyway, we don't have such luxurious homes. but we still have a home of our own, where we have our comfort, where we have our family, where we have a lot of love. So it doesn't matter if you're poor. Can you see that poor man singing away to glory? You can see the man, he's in rags totally, and he's begging on the streets, but he's singing, but he has a smile. Notice the smile? It doesn't matter if you're poor with these to make divine your song. So if you have both love and home, that means you are truly blessed, and therefore your song which comes out, your happiness, will be a part of the divine. That means you can connect with God. So that is a spiritual aspect of this poem. I told you there are biblical references in the poem. The poet is talking about connectivity with God. A person who is blessed to have both home and love can connect with God, and his song becomes divine. He sings in praise of the Lord, and that's what we should all be doing right now. Now, the last part of the poem, the second part of the third stanza. And so I praisefully repeat. So he is repeating it. And he is praisefully repeating. Why? Because he also realizes that he has a home and he has a loving family of his own. So I praisefully, and he's praising whom? Is he praising himself, his home, his family? No, he's praising the Lord. He's praising God. So I praisefully repeat, when angels talk in heaven above, there are no words more simply sweet than home and love. So he has understood that now he's totally sure that even angels are saying the same things in the heaven, and he can hear that voice, and he feels that his voice and the angel's voice have become connected, and there is a wonderful divine connection which he finds just because he has home and he has love. So home is where there is love, and there is a picture of heaven and angels talking to each other. And what are they talking about? You know it. It's about home and love. There are no words more simply sweet. So, did you get the alliteration in the third stanza? Yes, very good. Simply sweet. The sir sound is repeated. Yeah, very good. So let us go through the key messages in the poem. Home and love. Key messages means the main messages. Just like the key is important to the lock, here key messages means the most important messages. I've got 3 for you here and 3 more in the next slide. Home and love are not physical concepts, but they transcend or surpass all physical needs like water, food. These are the basic requirements for a person to survive. A person can survive without home, without love, but he cannot survive without food. If you give a person home and family, but don't give the person any food, then that person will starve and die out of malnutrition. But here he says, in a poetic way, he says, home and love are not physical concepts, but they transcend or surpass all physical needs. See, when you are very hungry, there are many poor people all around in the world. They are comforted by their mother's love, by the loving touch and the pat on their back to compensate for a meal in a day. Love has a lot of power, my students. It has a lot of power. So even physical needs do not seem to be very great when you are under the love and protection of your family. Okay? The second key message, the entire poem embodies the godliness existing in the simplicity of life. Now, this sentence may be too complex for you to understand, but let me try to explain it to you. That this entire poem embodies means is full of godliness that exists in the simplicity of life. He has found heavenliness, or he has found a divine connection with simple things like home and love. Am I clear now? So, love and home are inseparable and become meaningless without each other. Okay? So, Continuing with the key messages, happiness does not come from social status. Yes, very often we feel, oh, I have lots of cars, I have a wonderful house. It doesn't mean a thing, students. Your affluence, your money is nothing when you don't have a family and home to call of your own. There are many people, many parents who are working very hard for their family. But the point is that that money is meaningless if they are not utilizing it to spend it with their family and spend it on their home for the benefit of their family. There's no point in accumulating social status and wealth when you don't have a family of your own, when you cannot enjoy with your family. And this lockdown period in that way is definitely a blessing indeed. Many people may not be able to go out to work. Many people might be suffering a lot of losses. But here is a chance. Here is an opportunity which God has given all of us to spend more time with each other, give each other the love and comfort, tell each other how much they mean to us, and try to be grateful to their love, to all that they do. See, so many times you might have felt you would like to thank mummy, but you were so busy with your. But today is the time you can thank your parents, you can be kind to them, you can show how much they mean to you by doing little things for them. Okay, so a person who has both home and family is indeed truly blessed. I'm sure you're convinced of this by now. And the alliteration for you is simply sweet. So, with that, we come to the end of the lesson, but there is something more which I need to discuss. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, since we have done a lot of alliteration in this poem, I thought let me give you a consolidated note on alliteration. You can keep this information and learn from here. This is from your book. Okay. Note these groups of words from the poem. This is the entire list of alliteration. Little letters, yet you, win one, simply sweet. When similar sounds are repeated in a line of poetry or prose, it could also be a part of prose, students. We call it alliteration. The sounds are usually those of consonants and they occur especially at the beginning of words. You need to learn this definition by heart, students. When similar sounds are repeated in a line of poetry or prose, we call it alliteration. The sounds are usually those of consonants and they occur specially at the beginning of words. Okay, good. Now we move on to something that you might be familiar with, that is the structure and the rhyming scheme of the poem. Home and Love is a poem of 3 verses. We have seen 3 stanzas, 8 lines each. Okay, you can count them once more. It's 8 lines. Now the rhyming scheme. Now what is a rhyming scheme? Rhyming scheme is the pattern in which the last words in lines of poetry rhyme. You get a rhyme, isn't it? We record rhyming lines with letters. The first 2 lines that rhyme would be A, the next 2 would be B, and so on. The rhyming does not have to come right after the other. So there could be many types of rhyming patterns. I have given you on the right hand side, you can see poets can choose from a variety of different rhyming patterns. You could be AABB, or it could be ABAB, ABBA, ABCB. So the rhyming pattern is created at the end of lines of poetry. For example, it is explained here. See, Mary had a little lamb. Lamb is the last word. That is A. We put the last word as A in the first sentence. Next, its fleece as white as snow. So does snow rhyme with lamb? No. So we put it as B. And everywhere that Mary went, does it rhyme? Went with lamb or snow? No. So you make it as C. The lamb was sure to go. Yes, go. Rhymes with lamb? No. Snow? Yes. So it is A, B, C, B. Have you understood? If the poem does not have a rhyming scheme, which may happen, it is considered to be a free verse poem, or it can also be called a blank verse. So let us see what is the rhyming scheme of this poem. I have taken the first stanza for you, and I'm sure it's mostly repetitive. The first word is small, so we put it as A, and the next word is each, so we put it as D, and then yet you will not you will find not find in all. All is the next word. So all and small, do they rhyme? Yes. So they will be A again. Speech rhymes with each, so it becomes B. Complete does not rhyme with small or each, so therefore it becomes C. Above does not rhyme with any of these, so it becomes D. Sweet rhymes with complete, so it becomes C. And love rhymes with above, so it becomes D. So what is the rhyming scheme? I've written it over there. A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. Is that clear, students? Fine? Good. So the crux of the whole poem is home, family, and love. So home and love you will get where? When you have a family of your own. Yes? So that's the picture for you. House and love together gives you home. So what is the moral of the story? Okay, you found this in every slide. I had put this home and love on every slide. If you see in one corner, it will be there. Now I've enlarged it for you. What does it say? It says, love your family, love your home. Count your blessings, students. You are all blessed. Stay blessed. Okay? Love you all. So that comes to the end of the poem. And there are some exercises. So once we do all of them, we are sure that we have learned this poem well. So this is one of the poems which is there in your syllabus. And if you've understood, you consider it as done. Okay? Thank you. So what is the moral of the story? Okay, you found this in every slide. I had put this home and love on every slide. If you see in one corner, it will be there. Now I've enlarged it for you. What does it say? It says, love your family, love your home. Count your blessings, students. You are all blessed. Stay blessed. Okay? Love you all. So that comes to the end of the poem. And there are some exercises. So once we do all of them, we are sure that we have learned this poem well. So this is one of the poems which is there in your syllabus. And if you've understood, you consider it as done. Okay? Thank you.